For the people. We were trained spies back in Brooklyn, scrunched together, pressing our ears to the door, wall, or air. We used hand signals and mouth words instead of whispering. If necessary, I could shush my sisters with a glare to bottle it up their loose giggling. You can't giggle and be a spy. It was by pressing our ears to the air that we had heard Pa say, "No, Ma, they need to know her. They need, and she needs to know them. They're flying to Oakland. That's final." It had been all we could do to not let on when Pa sat us down to the next morning. The knock on the door, Cecile ordering us to hide in our room, and her clearing away all evidence of us were not actions of a mother. These were actions of a secret agent or a fugitive from justice, someone who doesn't open the door wide and welcoming like Big Ma does when the doorbell rings. Hers were actions of someone who wears hats, scarves, and shades to keep from being recognized. The kind of like the guy in the phone booth, someone obviously hiding out. Once again, we fell into our spying positions, angling ourselves at the cracked door to see, while pressing our ears against the air. From there, we could see pictures of the three figures who entered Cecile's house. All wore dark colors. One had on a black jacket and a black beret. The other two, black t-shirts and black berets over afros. We steadied our heavy, excited breathing to hear what we could. It wasn't long after greeting one another that their talking turned to arguing. It was their voices, all three of them against hers. It sounded like "seize the people, for the people, the time is now," versus her. "Me, my, no, no." Then each of them firing off. The people, against her. "My art, my work, my time, my materials, my printing press. Me, my, no, no." I was sure they were Black Panthers. They were on the news a lot lately. The Panthers on TV said they were communities to protect poor Black people from the powerful, to provide things like food, clothing, medical help, and to fight racism. Even so, most people were afraid of Black Panthers because they carried rifles and shouted "Black Power." From what I could see, these three didn't have rifles, and Cecile didn't seem afraid, just annoyed because they wanted her things, but she didn't want to give it to them. Big Ma said God could not have made a being more selfish than Cecile. At least she was like that with everyone, not just us. Cecile said, "Paper isn't free. Ink isn't free. My printing press isn't free. I'm not free." One of them answered, "None of us is free, Sister Anzilla. Elbridge Cleaver isn't free. Huey Houghton isn't free. H. Rap Brown isn't free. Muhammad Ali isn't free." I knew he meant her, Cecile, when he said Anzilla. I didn't know some of those other names. Only Huey Newton and Black Panther leader and Muhammad Ali, who used to be Cassius Clay. I guessed others were Black Panthers or Black people who were in prison. I knew Ali had refused to go to Vietnam and fight like Uncle Darnell was doing. I still didn't get what any of that had to do with Cecile. Another one said, "That's why everyone must contribute to the cause." The third voice added, like Huey said, "We should all carry the weight, and those who have extreme abilities will have to carry extreme heavy loads." There were words thrown back and forth, long and familiar words ending in shun, ism, and actic, with more talk about the people thrown in for good measure, like Big Ma throwing a pinch of salt into the cake batter. They weren't just talking. The three Black Panthers were rapping, laying it down, telling it like it is, like talking was their weapon. Their words versus her words. Hers falling, theirs rising. When her voice fell as low as she would allow it, she stamped her foot and said, all right, but you gotta take my kids." And shortly after, they were gone. We retreated from the door and jumped on top of daybed. This was the next part of the spy missions, pooling together what we'd learned. Vonetta asked if she was giving us away. Then Fern, "To those people?" I shook my head. No, she couldn't explain that to Papa. Or to Big Ma, Fern said. Then who were those people? Vanetta asked. In the black clothes, telling to carry the weight. Talking on and on, Fern said. They're Black Panthers. They're probably she's running from. Vanetta asked, who are the Black Panthers? You know, like Freda's brother. I made the Black Panther power sign with a fist. Only Big Ma and I watch the news. Big Ma enjoys hearing all about the trouble going on in the world. It isn't that she actually likes it. She just needs to hear about everything and talk about it. Since Pa works all day and is tired at night, Big Ma gives her opinions while I wash the dishes. You name it. President LBJ, Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, Martin Luther King's funeral, Bobby Kennedy's funeral, the race riots, the sittings, Elizabeth Taylor's next husband, the Black Panthers, each holds Big Ma's interest. It has something to do with Cecile's paper, I said. And her ink, Vanetta said. And the people, Fern said. We couldn't imagine what tied all three things together. Then Vonetta suggested, maybe they want her to write a poem. About the people, Fern said. Using her special links and papers, Vanetta said. Pa had told us Cecile wrote poems, but I'd already known that. Flashes of Cecile chanting words, tapping rhythm in her pencil, then writing. And Uncle Darnell had said I was always there, quiet in the kitchen, while she chanted and tapped. It has something to do with Cecile's paper, I said. And her ink, Vanetta said. And the people, Fern said. We couldn't imagine what tied all three things together. Then Vanetta suggested maybe they want her to write a poem. About the people, Fern said. Using her special inks and papers, Vanetta said. Pa had told us Cecile wrote poems, but I'd already known that. Flashes of Cecile chanting words, tapping the rhythm with a pencil, then writing. And Uncle Darnell had said I was there, quiet in the kitchen, while she chanted, tapped, and wrote. I'd get those flashing pictures, but in pieces. Vanetta asked, Can they make you write poems? Then Vanetta fixed her voice deep like a man's. You better write a poem about the people, or else... Fern and I laughed at her. She loved entertaining us. They don't send Black Panthers to your house to make you write a poem, I said. Vanetta's eyes lit up fox bright. She had an idea. Cecile prints her own money. How else do you think she's got this house? Cecile is printing her own money in the kitchen. That's why we can't go in there, and that's why she didn't cook fried chicken. Or Nana's pudding. I shook my head. With all the money she'd have to print up to buy this house, the FBI would have tracked her down and throw her in the pokey. The pokey? That made Fern laugh. Then Vanetta and Fern started dancing and singing. You do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about.